Hi, Indigo. The Indigos are the first generation of New Age children that appeared massively. And officially they say that the biggest numbers were born between 1978 and 1995. But then they started much earlier, but with little numbers. And as far as I know, personally, already from the 30s, the 1930s. But maybe even earlier. Maybe they have been always around from time to time. I do not know exactly. It's also not that relevant. What's relevant is that it's the first wave, and interesting fact about this wave is that from this wave a lot of them grew to be coaches. Like really a lot. And I came to understand a few years ago why. But first, I would like to explain something. If you have levels of consciousness, levels of sensitivity, levels of awareness, then Indigo is the first level. When it comes to the New Age children. In the article about New Age children in general, you see that other chakras have been activated earlier. But the Indigo ones, they're the first from New Age children. It's just a label. And after that came the crystal ones, the rainbow, the diamond. And each of these categories, these types, are more sensitive, are born in a higher energetic frequency, and they have more trouble adapting to the old ways. So it's like you being born in Western Europe and then falling asleep and then being transported without knowing, and waking up suddenly in a very primitive village somewhere in South America or in Central Africa or in Central Asia, and you're like, and the only thing you have when you wake up is your clothes and a note saying, you're here and you're going to stay here. Get used to it. No way of getting home. And then you start looking around and you see how differently people live. Probably you'll consider it more primitive, and you don't really understand the language. You understand a few basic things when you're like, okay, then there's a high chance they will understand you're hungry or you want to drink something. But a lot of what you will see around, what you will experience, will be very strange to you. And you will not feel comfortable, you will not feel home. And you may even completely freak out at certain moments. Unless you love this kind of adventure, and then it's easier for you. But let's assume you're not the adventurous type. So probably you're imagining this already, you're like, oh, this is not fun. Well, for some indigos this has been the case. For a higher percentage of crystal children this has been the case. Well, this still is the case. The same for rainbow and the same for diamond. And for each of them the differences are more extreme, because the earth hasn't changed that much yet. People haven't changed that much yet, so it's a bigger and bigger difference. It's like time travel. You're being thrown back in the Dark Ages. And you've seen some movies about the Dark Ages. I'm sure you would not really like to live there. It would be fun to observe, but how can you observe without interacting, without being in the middle of it? Wearing these strange clothes, never wash, everyone smelly around you, eating in a very primitive way, traveling in a primitive way, not having proper shoes to walk on, no heating in the houses. The danger of war every single day. Having to learn to use an extremely heavy sword while the heaviest thing you used to carry is to lift is your laptop maybe. So yeah, this is how New Age children can feel. Coming back to the indigos. The indigos were, as we said, mostly the first ones, and they came in with a relatively small difference in frequency. So it would be easier for them to adapt. But their role was to prepare the field for the crystal, the rainbow and the diamonds. Meaning, they would start initiating the change, raising the frequency, and also helping those newborn ones to understand, to feel safe, to adapt through coaching. And because society has grew from, or let's say they call it evolved, from the heart to the mind, but for me it's just walking backwards. A lot of indigos became psychiatrists, psychotherapists, something. I call them the psychos. And I keep making this joke. They're psychos because psychology means the science of the soul. But none of them is dealing with the soul. Okay, not none of them, but majority of them is not dealing with the soul. They're just dealing with the mind and trying to find patterns and systems like computers to judge and put people in boxes. But New Age children don't fit in boxes. Even the types, the categories, we know they're not fixed. An indigo can have many crystal, rainbow, even diamond characteristics. And those others can also have different of these characteristics. This is also why there is not an exact date when a certain type starts to be born. Some people can develop new characteristics throughout their lives. So you may be born an indigo, but at the age of 40, 50, you become more like a crystal or rainbow, or maybe even diamond. So please take your time to read, to understand, to let things sink in. Do not judge and try not to put people in boxes, but be open to all the possibilities. And look at your own life, look at the life of your children, look at the life of people around you, and you will start to recognize. I'm an indigo, and I have characteristics of other types, and I'm very happy of being an Indigo. I feel it's an honor to be from the first wave and to lay the path for others to come, and yeah, to help people. And if you look at my gene keys and human design profile, it's very clear that I'm here to build relationships and to help people through showing them their potential, their strengths, and many more characteristics, but those are not relevant for now. Enjoy the article below, and if you're not watching this on my website, click the link, dig in, and from each article you can get to another article. And I'm quite sure you'll enjoy it, and you'll have many aha moments. Now I understand why that person behaved in this way, or why that thing is happening, or how that works. And this is my main intention, to help you understand what's going on. Enjoy! Have a beautiful day. And please take your time to let things sink in.